Hey my cookies! Today I'll be showing you how to prepare a good old Louisiana style jambalaya in a crock pot. Let's cook. Starting off, we're going to spray our crock pot or slow cooker with nonstick cooking spray and pour in some chicken broth. Now mine is smoking because I used hot water and bouillon cubes because I forgot to buy the packaged chicken broth, so I had to wait and let this cool off. You don't have to do any of this if you just use regular chicken broth. So then I added in my spices. Mixed together Cajun seasoning, paprika, onion, and garlic powder. I just mixed it together and sprinkled it into that chicken stock. And then I added in some Italian seasoning because it's easier than adding in individual oregano, thyme. I just use Italian seasoning because it's all combined. Just added it in there. Give it a quick stir, and then we can add in our minced garlic. Here I'm adding a little bit of tomato paste. Where I'm from, jambalaya is more brown based than red. So we don't use diced tomatoes in our jambalaya. We just use a little bit of tomato paste. So I'm just stirring that in. And now that we have our seasoned base ready, we can add in our chicken thighs. I'm using boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You can use chicken breasts, but I just find that thighs are more flavorful in this recipe. I cleaned most of the fat off, but I reserved a little bit to add more flavor. Now I'm adding in some finely diced onion, bell pepper, and celery. And I use the entire celery stalk, including the celery leaves. So just add that in. And lastly, we're going to add in our sausage. I browned my sausage. I just put them in the oven on 375 for 10 minutes to get them nice and brown because they won't brown as much in the slow cooker. And then I'm going to cover it up with the lid, and we're going to cook on high for 2 hours or on low for 4 to 5 hours. After those hours, the smell is amazing. So now we can take out our chicken thighs and shred them. You can do it with a fork. I throw mine in my stand mixer 30 seconds and it's perfectly shredded. So once we do that, just add it back in, give it a stir. And now it's time to add in our rice. I'm using parboiled rice, not regular long grain rice. We need the parboiled rice. I'll give you some time to Google that and look it up if you're not familiar. If you use white rice, the timing would be different, and parboiled is just perfect for jambalaya. Whether you're making it in a crock pot, on the stove, it just renders the perfect individual grains for this dish. So we're going to stir this in really well and cover it with the lid, and we're going to cook for an additional hour on high. And if you're doing it on low, give it 2 hours, but do not lift that lid until the cooking time is up. Those of you that do not want to add seafood, or if you have an allergy, you can stop right here because this stuff is ready to go. It is absolutely delicious. The texture is perfect. It's just greatness. But if you're like me and you love your shrimp, go ahead and add in some raw shrimp and stir it in really well. Make sure those shrimp get evenly distributed in the rice, and then we're going to cook on high. Whether you cooked it on low or high, stick to high with the shrimp. Once you add them in, cook it for 20 more minutes on high, and then cookies, you will have your Crock-Pot jambalaya, and I promise you it will be the best you've ever tasted. So go ahead and garnish with some fresh parsley, and you're done. The recipe link is down there in the description box. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I gotta eat. Be blessed.